Okay. I'm gonna call the meeting of Planning and Zoning Commission to order. The date is January 15th, 2006. It is 6:03. You want to do the roll call, please, Jenny?
Let's see, Shannon.
Here.
Seth,
Here.
Mary,
Here.
Bill.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I need, the next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes for November 20th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? If there are no changes, then I'll take a motion.
Yeah, move to vote.
Okay, and somebody doing minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Shannon, do you mind putting your microphone at you? I can turn it up some. Is it on?
Public comments on non-agenda items. We will open the floor to the public comments. This portion of the comments on items not scheduled for public hearing this evening. Speakers are asked to state their name and address for the record.
So maybe reiterate that it's for the rezone. This is the public hearing or no?
No,
This is
Sorry.
that's the next thing on the agenda. Okay,
Non-agenda.
not seeing any. The next thing is public comment is closed for the non-agenda items. We would like to open the public hearing for rezoning request at 6:05. Staff presentation.
Okay, so we have rezone 01-2026. This has come before the planning and zoning previously. The difference between the previous time and this time is that before it was R1 requesting to go to R3. This time it's R1 requesting to go to R2. Applicant's Jason Weatherman. And the site location is at 8th and Mason Street. So in your packet, you have the application, the location map, the survey, and then the publication and letter sent to neighbors within 185 feet. It is recommended by staff that this could be approved on the basis that it is in close proximity to R2, which would just be on the east side of Mason. That area is currently zoned as R2. It would touch adjacently to the street, other side of the street. Any questions for staff? Okay, thank you.
This is, we asked for the.
I see that.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure, so.
Good question, because we have a bit of a quorum issue then, so.
Is the city gonna have to run Mason on up in there, huh? Is the contractor gonna take care of that?
That would be the responsibility of the contractor,
Contract, okay.
and it wouldn't be a public street. But I do think we have a bigger issue.
You said it would be a public street, or it won't? It won't. Right, good, okay.
I don't know. I don't think we can vote on this tonight because we don't have.
Not public street, not a quorum, right there.
You could have the hearing, but you can't have the vote.
All right, well, we'll continue the hearing and then we'll have to put this on for the next agenda.
Very good.
Okay. Does the applicant want to give a presentation? Talk. That's what they're asking.
I already gave my presentation on that last time.
Okay,
Pretty forthgoing, so.
Public comment. Open it up for public comment related to the rezoning request.
You have to turn the microphone on. Turned it off.
Won't get complicated
Just hold it down for a second.
with a little button.
Yep.
Marty McDermott, 316 Dyer Street. Years ago, this commission changed that from R2 to R1. Because the property around it was all R1. And owner at the time didn't really have any objections to making the change. He thought it might be in his best interest. Be a little neighborly to his folks moving around. This was at a time when we did many spot zoning removals, if you will, in the city. And while this does connect to R2 via the street, nothing's changed around it. All the homes are still single family. So my 2 cents is I would be in opposition to the change. Just for the simple fact that nothing in that abuts to the property is R2. And you have to go to a street. And it's not much of an access to a street, that I might add, that would get you close to an R2. Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak?
James Townsend, live at 203 South Page. Been there, 36 years. Had no problem with the R1, with R2, we've got enough people up there. The street, private street's gonna come right by me, north of me. They put a street through their concrete or asphalt, the neighbor north of me, he's gonna have to have a retaining wall put up, or his garage will flood. The watershed's right against his garage, his boundary line is 2 feet from his house. Like I said, 1, fine. But 2, we don't need that much traffic coming through there.
I mean, a little right away, but you're talking about entering into that addition, and that's not. right
Yeah,
away.
yeah, I live there, at Fields in South
It's
Bay.
out there, okay.
I live north, south of it,
South of
it'll
it,
be
yeah.
north of it, on that slope. And
Okay.
like I said, he'll have to have a retaining wall put up for that water,
Yeah,
and
you're
then put
right.
a asphalt or concrete, whatever in there, that grass soaking it up now. But, he
You
won't
wanted that
even,
watershed off the asphalt and stuff down on your place, yeah?
yeah,
And
yeah, and, the gentleman that owns it now won't even mow the grass.
Yeah.
And we're in a drought. We get some of that 30-40 mile-an-hour winds that catch on fire, you know what we're gonna look like? California.
There you go. You,
Time the fire department gets up there, it's gonna be embers all over up there. And it's been that way ever since he owns it, he won't mow. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll go and respond to that real quick.
Okay,
So whether it's a single family or a R2, there's gonna be a driveway there. Doesn't change the water shedding, and obviously it has to go through planning to, promote erosion control, et cetera. So that's not a big deal. Second thing is obviously nobody's done anything with it as a single family for years and years, and there's a reason for that. Nobody wants to build a house there with that dead end street. So as far as addition to traffic, it's on a dead end. There's gonna be a couple families that live there instead of 1. I don't see any considerable traffic increase whatsoever. So
Do you know how many units you were thinking of putting in?
I don't really know. It's all gonna depend on how much dirt work we're gonna have to do. Obviously, we're gonna want to have plenty of grass, plenty of shrubs, you know, et cetera, to make sure that it looks natural. So, you know, there might only be, you know, a duplex on it. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, put a catch basin in between there and down towards Maine on that deep end where looking everything slopes towards Maine.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the engineers. They're gonna have to figure that stuff out. I mean, no matter what, you know, and as far as other people's, you know, land, I mean, I can't control what happens with their land. I mean, you know, you can live in a place for 20 years and somebody builds a house next to you and then all of a sudden you have water problems. It's just kind of comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Can you state your name for the record?
Sure, Jason Wilson.
Thank you. Well, we don't. Yeah.
Robert Levy at 815 West Drain Street. When he was talking about drainage there, I can vouch that that's not how that works. I would work at the fireworks place. We built a new building. We had to redo numerous things because it flooded the mall. So that it does not work how he said. So, and of course I live at the top of the hill, so that water will all run down. But yeah, that is not how it works when we built our building. So there. That's all I can say.
I will say we do have a more stringent engineering review process now that requires a pretty extensive review of stormwater. And the way it's written in our ordinance is that you have to account for the water that's leaving your property and justify how you're justify that you're not making a negative impact downstream.
You'll have to go through somebody else's property to get it out of there any way you go unless you come out towards 8th Street. Looks like to me that almost be up, you're gonna have to go to Maine. I mean, there's houses all around through there. I guess there is 6 plexes or 4 plexes. You're gonna have to find some way for rainwater or put some kind of underground in there or a catch basin or something to get bring water off that hill. Okay, I guess long as engineering did that and did it correctly, so there's not a problem, water staying in people's backyard. I guess something to think about, yeah.
Not our problem.
For the engineers.
Okay, anybody else like to speak? No one else wishes to speak. We'll close the hearing at 6:16.
I just went.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
one more.
Yeah, I moved there in '89. The field to the north of me did have a catch pond there in that draw,
Mhm.
catch water. But I don't know who owns it now, but he let it go dry and filled it in. The older man always keep the old bush hog. But there was a catch pond. If you had no more.
Any other comments? Then we're gonna close it at 6:17. New business. We now have a forum again.
We do.
Moving on to new business. Parcel 23-1.0.02000-026.012 or 10. Location 8th Street in Mason, acreage 1.4 acres. Current zoning is R1 family dwelling district. Proposed zoning is R2. Is there any discussion on the rezoning from the commission? Entertain a motion regarding the case of RZ-01-2026.
I didn't have questions, but I think I just don't know how I'm going to do this correctly, and I just don't understand where.
This would be for the rezone.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
We're still on 8th Street. No, you're fine. Yeah, does anybody want to make a motion?
Staying to my key.
I'll make a motion to vote on it.
You can just say, a motion to recommend approval. And then we'll say yea or nays.
And you can still vote if you want to.
Okay, I'll make a motion to not recommend it.
Mean to vote no on it?
Yeah,
I'll second that. I vote no on, yeah.
Any discussion?
Next question.
Okay,
Like, well, I don't know, actually, if I can ask why, I don't know, like, so we can kind of see if there's a.
Discussion would be helpful for the applicant.
yeah,
I think my opinion on it is we had a lot of public comment this time and last time. The community members that live around there have a lot of concern. We voted not to entertain this last time. And then this time it kind of felt like there wasn't really a lot of information to go on. And it was just kind of being brought up last time. There was, rough sketches and drawings of what we were going to have, and this time it was just like, oh, we may put one. There's not enough information for me to be able to say yes, that I'm okay with this, when I don't really know what I'm okay.
I will refute that slightly because, in this scenario, it's the commission's responsibility to vote on the rezone. So whether or not duplexes should or should not be there. The how is determined later on throughout the process. So we intentionally did not put the additional information in to keep it biased from getting into the how, as opposed to yes or no, should we have R2 or not?
No, and I totally get that, Shauna. I think my opinion is we've already voted on this. We already saw.
We haven't, you're talking two different things, you're talking about R3 versus R2.
But essentially, like, we're still zoning it for multiple families. So it's either you can put a triplex or you can put a duplex. That's the difference. So for me.
The same thing from a single family to,
I think it's up to the homeowners around it, and they don't want it. So that's who we could, as far as I'm concerned, that's who I represent. They said no, so no as far as I'm concerned.
well, homeowners don't want highways going through their neighborhood too, but things have to change. Kind of the way of the way. Sooner or later, all of Oak Grove is gonna move out this way and it's gonna continue to grow. If you wanted to segment a town, then you probably need to go to a place like Mayberry, a place where you don't want any growth.
I don't think it's that we don't want growth. I just know that they've worked real hard to replat properties around the areas to make a cohesive, single family, multifamily.
It's
And-
connected to a multifamily though also. On the other side, so
On the other side, not land touching, correct?
it's touching the road,
Right, the road is divided by road.
right?
Right.
Which, I mean. There's a road dividing it between everybody else's property too, and there will be, so. that is-
Just know it was R2, we rezoned it to R1, so. And there was a reason for that at the time, and I think that reason still exists.
Why does the city recommend we pass it?
Because of the proximity to R2
In the ones down along Main Street down there?
on the east side of 8th Street.
Yeah.
Any more discussion?
Just-
Do I have a second on the motion? So one,
Thank you.
don't second, okay. So All those in favor?
So roll call vote for this one.
Okay. Shawnee, you're out, correct? You should see, so that,
I vote to deny it.
So you would vote because your motion was to not recommend it. So your vote would be yes.
Yeah, I voted.
Wouldn't no recommend it be, wouldn't that be a no if you don't recommend it?
no, because he posted as, he did not want it. So he reversed it. So now you're gonna have to vote no if you're against it. Yes, if you want it to happen.
I just don't want to.
No, the other way.
Yeah. Duplex, and that's what I want, yeah, however you want to put it.
That would be a yes vote.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what I thought I was saying here. Did I say it wrong?
whatever,
Okay,
got it.
okay. Keith,
Do I, since I missed part of the. Good. Yeah. I guess that a yes.
Okay.
No, go for it or just, no.
And Mary,
I'm gonna be,
so motion carries.
now, at this point, can he go to BZA with this, or is it just done?
It'll still go to the Board of Aldermen, just not with your recommendation.
Okay. Gotcha.
Our recommendation is not to,
Okay,
allow, our recommendation to the board.
correct.
Thank you.
So the Board of Aldermen turned it down over before when it came through before, right? Very good.
Okay. Going on to new business for a replat. Next item up is parcel 22-3.1 -06 -0 -00 -032 000. Asher Meadows, lot 1 and 2, 510 Orchard Street. Staff presentation.
Okay, we have replat 01-2026. This is a replat of all of lots 3 and 4 for Allen Ball's subdivision. The applicant is Thomas Asher, surveyor Edwin Guard. The address is 510 East Orchard Street. It's currently zoned as R1, single family. And then there is the application, location map, and survey included in your packet. Staff recommends approval of the proposed replat. Approval of the replat will not create adverse impacts on adjacent properties. Just to give a. So what the applicant is wanting to do. You can see on the survey, if you have this page available to you. They're wanting to split it into 2 parcels, but because the bottom most south portion was added on, we could not do a replat, or we could not do a lot split. Because it's already been combined prior, so instead of a lot split, it's a replat, but it's still going into 2 lots. And you can. 1 lot and 2 lot, there's a 1 and a 2 in the survey picture.
So they're gonna try to split 3 and 4 and make them equal? Or the line they got drawn, the dark line, good, is that where we're gonna split it at?
Yes,
So why not, number 3 is gonna be a lot smaller than 4 and 2, correct?
correct.
And that's so, and that's zoned R1?
It'll split into 2 lots. currently one larger lot. You can see on the.
Yeah.
So do I understand what's being requested?
No. So where are we looking at?
So this is all one top person.
Yeah.
And they're splitting
So then do- right?
one lot, two lots.
Well, you want to split it there?
Yes, all the way down.
It's slightly closer.
That's gonna be pretty narrow, with water in the back.
Really shot.
The way it's, the way it's drawn, that's exactly what it's gonna be right there, just like that.
Correct.
Like their house.
That's
It will not be on their house, it'll, that blue line is not where it is. It's over more.
But it's still gonna be fairly narrow.
Correct.
They're just setting where they are.
They're wanting to put, single family on the smaller lot.
When you get a small house on that, it's about 20,000 square feet, I think, or 2,000 square feet now, and they can put a little bit in there.
Not for us to decide.
And we work with some, please have a small farm.
We can add anything down.
Yes. Real quick, just one moment before we move on. Needs then a little bit more additional researching.
So we did have to change the dimensions of the lot to make it meet our code. Our code actually within R1 has R1A through E. So the lot one, we had to make that smaller to make the setback, lot width of 70 feet. And then a larger lot, I believe fell within the R1D. So that's why that one is larger, so that was also part of it, we had to change the width on those.
That both meet the requirements.
Yes.
So.
Any other questions?
So just on that, does neighbors have to be notified
No, not on a replat.
on the replat?
I have a question for you. On this, it has like a little like jet over there, on this it doesn't.
So this is the county's GIS mapping,
Okay.
which gives you a general idea of where the lot lines are, but it is not 100% accurate. This is the professional survey that was completed.
Or that square feet in there be correct at 14,893, would that be correct, I mean 14,893?
On the survey,
Am I on that, would that be correct then?
it should be correct, yes.
That's still pretty small.
Would that meet our code to build on without a PUD?
It will be a small house, but.
You know, you have to have a certain amount of boundary on each side of the house, the property line, one side or the other. I don't remember what it is, but that'd have to be a.
Yeah.
You think you play.
Long and narrow. Shotgun house.
One thing I'd wonder about is like the house over there, it's on west of there, how they would like having a little bitty house like that right next door.
All we can do is go by whether or not it meets our requirements.
Well, right. Yeah.
It can't express the discontent, like, I guess like where I'm thinking is like. If we split this up into these tiny little lots and then I guess if you're gonna obviously put like a little house on it, and that's your garage, like that's what you wanna do, but like at the same time, like there's these little tiny houses popping up all over, and that just feels like little tiny houses popping up all over and not like actual growth to me. And so it's like, I guess I just feel like we're just giving you permission to do something
If there's no restrictions against it, then there's nothing to stop that.
Yeah.
But that's what they would have to put in, or what she's talking about, though. If there's gonna put a house in there.
Yes,
we would have to
that's
assume that.
really not our concern. Our concern is whether or not it meets the criteria, and it does. So,
Does that automatically give it a yes then?
I mean, there's discussion if you find reason, but it has to be something, it can't be on what might go there, what maybe be there. It can't be.
Well, yeah, but the usefulness of what we can't be considered, Mary, and what they're gonna put in there. If we can't put a
It's
garage,
not-
can't put a house.
That's not correct. The engineers will go over it and they'll say whether or not it can work or not. So until engineering studies are done and everything's been run through, there's really nothing we can say. All we can say is, yes, we can split it, or no, we can't.
We're good.
And we do have the next step, if this were to go through, in order for them to obtain a building permit, they would need to have, plan review done for the site and for the building. So we send our site plan review to our engineers, they kind of check off and make sure the lot size requirements are there, the setbacks are there, all of those things, and then the building itself goes to IBTS for building plan review. And that there, they can make sure that even though it may be smaller, that all of the 2012 building code requirements are met. So there's still, it doesn't mean for sure they're gonna build a house there, but it means that they can apply and submit plans and those will be reviewed.
What about parking on that street? Is parking allowed on that street?
I don't know off the top of my head if it is or not,
It's residential.
but they
I
would
went
be
by and looked at it.
required to
It's-
have the.
Trees right where the place is talking about.
Nope.
So I'd be trees right down there, yeah.
Would be required to have.
Driveway.
Driveway.
Yeah. We'll put, I guess you put a driveway in without a garage. You know, I guess.
I don't see a problem making the change.
I guess we're just gonna split the lot as long as we went to engineering and everything and all that, but I agree with her. I wouldn't want to see put a little house there just for the folks next door, but I suppose that'd be up to engineering what they say yes or no to. And they used to be stuck with a small lot here. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. If you wanna split it, that, I'm good.
And that's why we have setbacks, so there is a perimeter between this person's lot and the neighbor's lot.
Yeah.
You know, the neighbor has their own setbacks from the edge of their parcel to their house, and then the next house will have the same level of requirements to create that separation between neighbors.
I just thought, I didn't make property value, and I can't categorize property value and do
We're
that.
not talking
We can't,
about
I
that.
know, we can't talk about it, that's what would happen.
Can I entertain a motion to replat?
I vote yes.
RP 012026. I need a motion.
I make a motion to,
I'll second.
And second, any other discussion then? All in favor? All in favor, raise your hand. Bill, did you say you were in favor?
Yeah, I'm in favor, yeah, we can
Okay.
split it, yes, second.
1, 2, 3, 4 in favor? 4 in favor.
You all opposed?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, say all, I would say all.
Oh, all opposed, I'm sorry.
I oppose.
Okay. So motion carries with 3 to 1,
4 to 1.
4 to 1, I'm sorry. I can't count. Okay. Full business. We did the zoning workshop. Are we gonna adjourn and then do that, or just keep going?
It's up to you.
Up to you, if everybody wants to hang around for that.
Is there a need for recess?
Do you want?
A recess? Or do you want to just go into it?
Whatever you guys wanna do. What you guys like to do?
I'm ready.
Guess we can hang them at 7 o'clock for 11, for another 20 more minutes, whatever everybody wants to do, I guess, but I'm open. I don't know, how we can get along with, basically.
I'm gonna think.
Okay.
I can't.
All right, we're gonna go into a workshop working on zoning issues.
That's-
Any of you wanna stay, we're gonna stay, but.
You too.
The request to end at 7 o'clock?
Cause I can.
I thought it was going on 9. but-
No.
Come on. Hey.
Keep a stick, Mary.
But,
Keep a stick.
yeah.
Alright, we're going to left off at elementary schools.
Yep.
Alright, we're picking up on schools, elementary, middle, and high school. Oh, we don't have Mr. Badgley here. I was gonna give my whole speech because we have a new member, but he's not here, so you guys are already.
He was here at the last
Who
meeting.
wants to? It's the
It's highlighted in yellow.
third page.
Third page.
Oh, okay.
I want to see yellow.
So. In an effort to expedite the process,
What did you put that in?
I took the liberty, and you can tell me if you don't wanna know my opinion, but I took the liberty to fill this in with my own opinion. And you guys can say yes or no, or we can just do it how we have been doing it.
Let's go down here now.
Alright. So for schools, elementary, middle, and high school, generally speaking, schools can be on the outskirts of town, but once you start to grow a little bit further, you want your schools to be more neighborhood focused and oriented around the rooftops. So for this, I put down ag, R1, R2, and R3 plus PUD. And then conditionally in commercial and industrial.
Did we decide that ag, it can't stay ag when that has to change zoning, because ag can only be ag, so we're leaving it, they would have to get,
I don't remember. I will have to,
because we were talking about that on other things, and then we decided, oh yeah, you really can't, you'd have to read something.
yeah, that's true.
Oh.
So arguably then permitted and residential, and then anything above that would be conditional.
Yes.
So you're talking conditional in all commercial?
Yep, all commercial and industrial, and I have it permitted with the PUD. Any objections to that?
No.
So obviously we would want it to be focused around residential and the rooftops to get the kids closer to their schools, and then anything beyond that is not allowed, but it would require some discussions with the planning and zoning commission.
And then we're gonna leave the question on agriculture.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We have a few weeks to come back to. Okay, service station automotive, so my understanding of this definition wise is an automotive gas station. So. I have permitted in C2, C3, I1, and I2. And I'm curious if you would permit it in C1.
What's the difference between a service station and a convenience store?
I think the fuel part of it.
Convenience store, like a Casey's.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
In the
Service station wouldn't have fuel,
Service station would have fuel.
and Casey's wouldn't,
Casey's would have fuel too.
so is there a difference?
I think convenience, you can have a convenience store without fuel. You could have a gas station without convenience. So,
Okay, but would it, a convenience store without fuel? They can be in the same places that a convenience store was.
we have convenience store on here. Can we do that one already?
6 months ago.
Yeah, I know, that was like August or July.
I don't think we.
I don't think so.
So we call a gas station a convenience store?
I don't think so. I think we're just having a gas station. If they would add a convenience store to it, that wouldn't be a problem. But adding the gas to something would be a problem.
So the definition I have, a use primarily engaged in the retail sale of gasoline and other motor fuels to automobiles and passenger vehicles, along with accessory activities such as the sale of lubricants, accessories, or supplies, the lubrication of motor vehicles, and the minor adjustment or repair of passenger motor vehicles. Uses involved primarily in the sale of diesel fuel, gasoline, and other fuels to tractor trucks, and uses that feature parking, storage, or servicing of tractor trucks or semi-trailers shall be classified as truck stop service stations, which is next. So it is what we consider a gas station with retail sales of other things, vehicle related. So it is a classic gas station.
Would you like riders?
Like Sinclair Station, yeah.
Riders
Yep.
would be a service station.
Mm-hmm.
So I would permit it in C1.
Anybody else
That
agree?
Convenience store, so.
Yeah,
Where do we
Well-
put them at?
to Mary's point, we already have gas stations permitted in C1, so.
Okay, but. do we have
This will
gas
be
stations
all
that-
gas stations, Casey's,
Everybody,
yep,
okay,
Phillips. all of
okay,
it.
so that convenience store that sells gas.
Yep.
Is a gas station.
Yep.
Okay. I'll find you.
No, you're fine, you're fine, gotta clear it up. Okay. Okay, moving on to truck stops unless anyone objects to it going
Where did you put it at?
C1, C2, C3, I1, I2, and P.
So no residential.
Good, you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to, I don't know where they're at. Seems like Lee Summit has a lot of convenience stores that sell gas in residential areas.
But the land is ours. Or,
So it'd be a zoning change.
yeah, so,
That's-
cause my sister lives near one of those intersections, the intersection there is zone commercial.
I agree with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Truck stops. Have them in I2 and I1, C3. Anywhere else? C2,
I was gonna say, I can almost say that the PUP eventually.
yeah, we can add that in addition to.
What'd you say, C1 commercial? On that one there?
I did not say C1
Okay.
or C2, so that's up for discussion.
I feel like you're gonna need a lot of space for a truck stop.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they would really fit in C1. I don't know about C2.
We just gonna grow in the town.
What is it zoned down on the highway there? So I was trying to think like, cause I would think that if we put a truck stop in. it's-
Right, we'll go, I think.
Yeah. So I was trying to think like space wise, like, cause I know we would want a truck stop on. Like, we can put one downtown. So like, I feel like that would knock C1 out. You make that as
That's why
a,
you would go C3 or I, that's what you're gonna be on highway.
Yeah, but wait.
no,
Still lots.
Pull it and go up. Those diesel pumps are used for farm vehicles and people use diesel fuel for car.
I think when we're talking more about like a truck stop, we're talking more like a Love's or a, yeah,
Things that are very outdoor,
yeah.
the big quick trips.
Mhm. a Bucky, necessarily Bucky's, but I can see a Bucky's going into like a.
So would we allow it in C2? So that's the darker red.
I wouldn't want to say conditional in C2, maybe.
Well, what used to be red carpet. Can you still drive a semi back in behind there, to get fuel? The gas station.
Are you talking about action?
No. Out,
The VP.
just down from, O'Reilly on the other side of the street.
Oh, the BP, yeah.
That EP.
Yeah.
But can you still drive a diesel truck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's like a
Semi.
semi, but I don't know if that's that, I wouldn't necessarily consider that like a truck stop though. Cause I think it only has 2 pumps, when I think truck stop, I think like. A
Yeah.
bit.
Like some of the drivers do still better. Short for trucks.
Still ain't like, broke, them 2 truck stops, them people that think truck stops, they
Yeah.
don't need to side by side be a burger.
That property's on, that's fine.
C2.
C3, I'm sorry. C3 is the dark red, C2 is the bright red. C1 is the really light. So C3 is BP. It's C3 from, the old Ford dealership to almost, Whistle Stop is and McDonald's are C2.
And then all of this out here is C2,
The mall is
or not the mall, over here, the farm.
on the north side of 70 is
Yeah.
C3.
I think it's a C3.
But our future land use map shows everything between that dark red to the 131 bridge as C2.
I think I'd stick with my conditional, but I'm hoping that other people like this on it.
I think again, that's where we need to have that overlay zoning for I-70 and along. I agree with you.
Other than that changing it with the new, when they get I-70 squared away to, when it's in that zoning, along there, along the driveway, gonna be.
Not much of it though. Okay, so does anyone disagree with C2 being conditional for truck stops?
Conditional, I think it's okay.
What we had discussions prior to for shooting range that was outdoors. And so I went ahead and filled those in, but that was when we previously discussed it, we said permitted in C3, I1, I2. So the next one is short-term loan services. So this is gonna be your like bail bondsman and like quick payday type of things. The business of making loans for a period of 30 days or less in duration intended to coincide with the period from one payday of the borrower to the next, and in principal amounts of $500 or less. So I think the reason why this is in a section of its own is because it happens a lot of times, especially in the county seats, that they'll get these bail bondsmen and you get kind of that business, and there'll be multiple of them. So they tend to pop up in larger ones.
Close to the police station.
Hmm?
Close to the police station. Gives us about
So, the point is to, I think the intent that many cities have is to try to deter these from not necessarily coming, but we also are in a different time era in 2026 where your quick loans are obtained online now as opposed to in person. So it's probably not something we'll actually have to confront, but I have down conditionally in C2 and C3.
C2 and C3 is that percent. know.
I'm good with that.
Okay, the next is studio television or film, so. In my eyes, I picture this one to be, I don't have a definition unfortunately, but, like your TV studios, like Channel 9 News or Channel 4 News, and you've got all the antennas and things coming out of it, so, more of a often could be maybe an eyesore. I have C2 and C3 permitted and conditionally in C1 and I.
I agree with that. I would almost make it not permitted in I1, because when I think of, or not I1, and C1, just because whenever I'm thinking about space, like. You know, in time and working in film, like, that's a lot of equipment, that's a lot of bands, that's a lot of stuff, and I think that's gonna be too much. Like, that would be trying to pack way too much into a little spice of C1, so I would say it had to be C2 in that.
That's
Agree with that.
So those are becoming less bulky industries.
True.
So you've got a very wide variety there in those needs between, say, a true broadcaster that's got to go over the airwaves and has to have the big tower and things that go out versus somebody who's just maybe literally filming with an iPad or something for like DVS.
Yeah, but I almost felt like that would be like a different studio setup though. I don't know if there's a way to break that up, because like if, I feel like what you're talking about would be like a simple, like 3-person man operation.
Yeah, like it's no different than a photography studio.
that's what I was about to say too, is.
Yeah.
Would photography studio fall under here, and if so, then we need to reconsider. Because. We have a photography studio. Currently in C1 in our downtown. So,
There's no reason not to have it C1 too, is it?
No.
I almost feel like you need that needs to be separated into like a couple of different definitions.
Yeah.
Cause like if we're getting like a Channel 9 News coming in, like they're like, we wanna leave KC, go to Odessa, then they need a lot of space, but if it's like just a. Simple 3-man, 3-woman operation, then they just need. A storefront.
yeah, we can break it out by size.
So I also feel like a lot of those people may work from their home as well.
All right, tattoo parlors and body piercing. I have permitted in all 3 commercial.
I can agree with that.
Transitional living center. This is gonna be similar to a group home situation. Facility certified by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services to house operations involving the transport. Oh, wait. That's transportation. State licensed group care homes for juvenile delinquents, halfway houses providing residence, rehabilitation and counseling to persons on release from a more restrictive custodial confinement. And residential rehabilitation treatment centers, which also may provide outpatient rehabilitation for alcohol and other drug abuse. But it is residential in the sense that they live there. Transitional.
Do we have a separate category for people with disabilities that would be living somewhere on this?
We have group home.
We have convalescent care, which is the nursing home category, and then group home, which is the yeah, protected living environment for physically and mental disabilities.
That's one to make sure that these were getting separated out, because I have a sister that uses a wheelchair, and I want to make sure that we're very clear on what this is.
So I have, and then you might correct me if I may be wrong, but I have permitted in C2 and C3. Conditionally in industrial 1, R3 and C1.
Said R3? Yeah. It was R3 and then what, C1, C2, C3?
Conditional in R3 and C1. And permitted C2, C3, conditional in I1.
I think my opinion is I would make it all conditional. And then make it conditional on a PUD as well. Just because depending on what type of transitional living this center is coming in. That way we have a way to be able to like, ooh, no, that shouldn't go there, you know, like. You know, so that would be my only comment.
What did you put down for group residential? But just since you filled it out, because we didn't do that, we skipped it.
Yeah, I went back and added, I do the same thing. I did, yeah, I did the same thing, conditional R3 to C1, permitted C2, C3, conditional I1. Can discuss both.
I just don't see them in an industrial area.
Yeah,
The only reason I do is just because depending on if it's like a detox center. Like, you would want a detox center down there. So like I can see like that in I1.
well, and your I1 is gonna be like all along the railroad tracks and then kind of that west side of town. That's why I kind of put it in there as conditionally, because putting it in off I1 can sometimes get it kind of isolated or outside of our more commercial and busier areas. But with conditions, so we have the ability to kind of vet it. It's my thought process.
There be a case where we'd want to review all of them.
Okay.
I mean, if it was conditional, or is there something that I'm not seeing there that would come into town, or is there any, we don't have anything like this now?
Well, that's good. I don't know that we have any transitional living, but we may have group home living. We'll probably need to check with the police department to confirm that. I'm not aware of any off the top of my head.
I don't know. Seems like
What's
might be
the,
some groups of, you know, on the group, the residential group. I'm not sure what all that entails, but I would think that there would be some groups that would be easier to get along with than other groups.
and I think a lot of times, my fiance works in this, in the residential field, and a lot of times you do have the disruption that maybe in the home that could come outside. So you're gonna have that problem no matter where it is. So if it's in single family residential, to me, that's more impactful than it being in a greater zoned area. And maybe the neighbors are further apart, or, you know. It's just kind of where we land on it though, so.
I also think you're talking about like two very different populations of people here. Because when we're talking about, when I see, because this is kind of like what I do from a social worker. So when I think of transitional living, with what we're talking about with this category, we're talking about people who are detoxing from meth, cocaine, heroin, maybe alcohol treatment. Or we're talking about people who have been released from prison or incarceration. We're talking about a halfway house. But when we're talking about like group home, I think of people like my sister, who is 100% capable of telling you everything that's going on in the world, has a bachelor's degree, but uses a wheelchair and needs someone to help her with activities of daily living, like cooking, cleaning, bathing, toileting, things like that. So like you can get in the category where you have a group home of people with like autism, Down syndrome, things like that. So yeah, there could be some type of disturbance if somebody is having a bad day. But I think you would have a lot less of a disturbance with that situation than you would with potentially someone detoxing or something like that. So I think those are kind of like the big differences that I see.
Like, it's along the railroad too, like, to be honest, I don't know how use of a train going to the 3 AM is gonna be somebody with strength or, you know, if I'm through life day today, so it just seems.
With most work release programs. Would it be good to be close to where you work?
Sure.
For the industrial areas?
I think I don't know that we say that it's not permitted in Iowa. That's where I think that the conditional is the best fit here. Or speaking to the transitional living. I think,
We had a woman's group home at one time,
Did we?
and it was in the old Baptist church, across from the library. There. Oh, remember that?
I almost feel like all of them.
It was before your time.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
But it was ran by a church. So,
I just almost feel like for any of the transitional living, we just need to make it conditional. That way we have more control over. Kind of like, you know, we've been talking about, like, we have more control over saying like, oh yeah, that's fine there, or. You know,
is this something where there would be a public hearing if they were wanting to put it in a certain location that was, say, in a North region, in a neighborhood? I see it in the news all the time, you know, they're upset because a group home is coming into their neighborhood, this or that.
If they needed to rezone. So if we made it conditionally completely across the board, then no, because they wouldn't need to rezone. Whatever it is, it would come here, but I guess I don't know, we don't ever have conditional use. We don't know if the conditional use requires a public hearing. I would assume so because it's still, I don't know.
Yes. That's at least what Oak Grove. Oak Grove has a lot of things under CUP right now and all of those public hearings. Also, city can always hold a public hearing about anything. Just what's required.
So yeah, I guess if we put C all the way across, it would for sure come to you guys no matter what.
Oh, and just to clarify, I don't mean all the way across, I just mean R3 to 9,
Okay,
so not in,
not permitted in R1, R2.
not permitted in agriculture, not permitted in I2, and maybe a PUD. That would be my
I
opinion,
can do conditional.
you know.
Okay, so going back to group home though, we can button that up while we're on the topic.
Not group home, group residential.
Yeah, group residential. Yeah, we already did. Group residential reads as the use of a site for occupancy by groups of more than 5 persons not defined as a family on a weekly or longer basis. Typically, uses include fraternity or sorority houses. So group home is the one we were talking about before. Group residential is totally different.
See, I thought we were talking about group home.
I do
That's
too.
bad. Yeah, that's fine.
Typical uses include fraternity and sorority houses, dormitories, residence halls, and boarding or lodging houses. The term group residential does not include group homes.
What did we do with universities or schools?
I don't think we did that one.
Because I feel like we have to make those match. Cause if we ever get like a,
Well, schools we did,
just did.
We didn't do college or university,
No.
but I took the liberty to my option. I put C1, C2, C3 conditionally in I1 and not permitted in I2. The reason why I did that too is because you can, college or university can vary on so many levels. You could have, and C1 varies on so many different levels. You could have just a, you know, single classroom style.
Barber school,
uh,
like a hairstyle, barber
True.
school, yeah.
True, you could have that, or you could have, like a satellite location, where you can obviously have an entire university, so it varies quite a bit when it comes to colleges.
What did you have on that?
That's the one, C1, C2, C3, conditionally in I1 and not permitted in I2.
I would almost make the argument to make it conditional on I2 too.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is like, what if we get a big welding school or something like,
Cosmetology.
you know, like just something real big, like some big school, truck driving school or
True.
something wanted to come in.
Does everyone agree with that? Okay. And then back to group residential.
I feel like that almost has to match college and university in case, well, I guess maybe not in C1.
I think the other thing you need to consider with group residential is where you would want it in the residential categories. Because it is where people live, so it should be in residential somewhere.
Well, it would be a multi-family situation.
And it can be conditional too, so,
So remind me what we just did in college and university, because I had it right now.
jump in. I have for college and university permitted in C1, C2, C3, conditional for I1 and I2. And permitted with PUD.
What was that you were just on in on?
College and university. And are we good with putting at least those the same? Permitted in C1, C2, C3, conditionally I1, I2 for group residential. And then conditionally in R3.
I'm okay with conditional R3. I do worry, I would almost not make it permitted in C1. I would almost make it conditional, and I know I'm the one that just said like they need to match, but the reason I think that is, it's like. If it's the tiny little barber school or hair studio, where are they gonna sleep at? And it can C1. So I think that we would need to have like a little bit of knowledge before we approve that. But I guess like they could rent the building next door, but within the building next door be.
Well, if it's a small university, they're probably not gonna have.
Housing workers.
So permitted in C1 for group residential or conditional in C?
I don't think it's conditional on all of them because. You don't want it in your downtown,
Yeah.
most likely, which is C2. So.
Yeah, there are additional costs.
Depends on where it's at and what's next to it.
We can do conditional.
Yeah. And then maybe we could permit it in a PUD.
Yeah.
Wait one second. Vehicle equipment sales. Think we can make it through the rest of this section?
Yeah, because one of them, we probably can just make match to what we just did with college and university.
Vocational school,
Yeah.
that's fair. Okay, so vocational school would match college and university. Permitted in commercial and conditional in industrial.
Does that include high school?
Yes. I'd say if the high school is adding a vocational school on their lot, it wouldn't
They
make
have
a
one,
difference.
don't they?
Yeah, but if they're gonna go do a satellite lot somewhere else, then it would need to follow this.
I think we've pretty much got it to where they could build it wherever they.
Yeah.
Wanted, except for I want to add you.
Okay, vehicle equipment sales. I have. Conditional in C2, permitted in C3, and I1 and I2. And I think the reason.
So where the car lot used to be. Is that C2,
C3.
C3? That's good.
What about where the new heavy equipment, where the diesel shop was, what was that? And because it's now that,
Farm equipment.
yeah. Does would that fall into this?
Yep.
Would be,
I guess their sales in repair.
I think they are sales, I don't know that, I think they are.
Yeah, I1,
Wait, because I1
yeah,
right there,
all along the railroad tracks is all this light blue is I1.
That's good.
yeah, I didn't realize industrial was right there. Cause I would have thought that was C.
You got advanced industrials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
light industrial.
Advanced overall action, is that what we're talking about? That's not in the cover.
You know, downtown
Okay.
there, and then they also have the location. Right up the road.
Yeah. North of.
They just had some new buildings built right over there too.
So that's a place just across the railroad tracks you're talking about, Dennis?
Yeah.
So, okay, and that's what we end up making that now, see?
That, we're just saying that advances in light industrial,
Okay.
even though it's kind of in the core of our town. All right, so vehicle and equipment sales. A use engaged in the retail, wholesale, or rental from the premises of
Skip one.
motorized vehicles.
Vehicle equipment storage yard.
Wait, where did we land on sales?
Yeah, we're one of them.
Yeah, sales is what I like we're working on now.
Yeah, we were working on sales, I thought.
So I have C3, I1, I2, conditionally in C2. Arguably, the Dodge dealership is in C2 currently.
Okay. What did we do for storage yard?
We haven't done it yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
We
so
also make it conditional for C1.
we can make it conditional for C1. I don't know that it needs to be conditional for C2.
Yeah, I would make it permitted for C2 if we already have the Dodge dealership and a C2. It kind of would be like, oh, well, they get to do this and I don't.
I can use a couple more out there.
Now we have storage yard.
Do you want to do the storage yard or do you want to go down to vehicle repair?
We can
Because
do
it
that.
seems like that should be
Yeah.
right in there with your vehicle equipment sales.
So the difference between general and limited, so vehicle repair general. Primarily engaged in painting, of or body work to motor vehicles or heavy equipment typically include paint and body shops. Limited is automobile repair or maintenance services within an enclosed building, but not including general repair, vehicle repair services. So one's a body shop and one's a repair shop. Yep, we have.
The gas station that does, oil changes. Is that-
That would be probably
Don't we have like a body?
C2 or C3 even.
Yeah.
I think that's what's might be my.
Behind it would be.
I know the fence off.
Yeah, I almost say that we just
See-
make this match what we did for vehicle equipment sales, cause you're gonna need about the same amount of area if you're gonna store vehicles to repair them. So like, I feel like all three of those could just match.
Well, they do a lot of repair at the mall.
Yeah,
That Dodge dealership, or whatever that.
yeah.
Okay, which one are we working on? Cause I keep getting different names and I'm just like, where are we here?
Vehicle repair. So we.
Okay, so we
storage.
kept stores.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're talking about the next two.
okay.
Cause like, I feel like you could just make those two match what we did for sales. Because essentially, kind of like what you just brought up, the Dodge dealership does a lot of repairs out there anyways, so like they're already doing. Repairs and I don't know if they have a body shop, but we have a body shop downtown next to the vet. So,
Do we want to permit those in I1 and I2 or are those conditional?
I feel like in I1 they would be permitted, I don't know about I2, I feel like that would be conditional.
Or not permitted in I2?
I mean, I don't wanna tell someone they can't put in a giant body shop if they want to.
Okay.
But I mean, it's what y'all think.
Conditional in I2? For all three?
Well. Go back to our gas stations.
Mhm.
Are they in Ives? The gas stations that do tire repair. And change oil.
And I almost think too, if we get like a big shop or something and they wanna have their own body shop or something.
Still, I mean. Yeah, going back to, we also, they have the ability to rezone, so. If they're. I mean, your I2 is your most extreme industrial, so that's like. Rich flow.
You see what I'm saying?
Ritchie Brothers I2? I think so. That's vehicle sales, it's vehicle auction, but it's still vehicle sales.
We should talk about vehicle repair, if I can. That's when we're on it, trying to decide on it and the general repair.
Yes,
Yeah, I think they'd be one and the same almost, I mean,
okay, so reverting back, all three permit in I2.
I2.
Yep, for vehicle repair, limited, general, and vehicle sales.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Okay, wait a minute. Is, the tractor repair place downtown, is that I1?
tractor repair, please.
The used to be Gettinger's,
I'm talking about Shamrock,
what's that?
Shamrock,
Yeah, I don't know,
it's downtown, right there on the end, just down from the ice cream shop.
Mhm.
no.
That's a good point.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh,
Where Day Chevrolet was.
what's
The
that?
diesel
Where Day
repair,
Chevrolet
please?
was.
No.
No?
John Gettinger. It's
Okay.
Odessa Automotive.
That's all.
It's down-
Way down on Third.
Farm equipment.
No.
That's the diesel repair.
Right across the railroad tracks, right now.
Yeah, that's light industrial.
Okay,
That's I1.
so are we saying that they wouldn't qualify?
No, they would.
Yeah.
They would.
Okay, so we are gonna put them in,
Permit in I1, that's
in I
I1.
one, okay.
No, it
Yeah, it's technically not open, I don't think.
No, Shamrock is for Sally close.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's considered.
Yeah, it has garage.
It's
door.
always been an automotive like repair place, time repair. It used to be a car dealership, I believe, right?
I think so.
Very,
On
yeah.
the corner, it's an empty building, isn't it?
That building's only good for certain things. and
But I
mostly
think
we're
we
not-
have that permitted
Yeah.
though. If we have city closures.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, that's
Lives.
C2 currently. So that works what we just did. For them too. Alright. Vehicle equipment storage yard. Pretty self-explanatory on that one.
I'd say not permitted in C1, conditional in C2, permitted in C3, permitted in I1. And maybe conditional in I1, I2.
I think we would want those to be pushed to I1 and I2.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't leave it conditional in I1 or 2, would we?
I think it should be permitted.
That's a lot of, it's storage of vehicles, it's a lot, yes, or.
The lot across the street from Dollar General.
Oh, the storage thing where they store boats and stuff.
So I think that's your bottom one, your warehouse residential storage. And then there was also one that I wasn't 100% sure on the difference between them, but there's a warehouse residential parentheses mini storage. And then there was a there wasn't. Well, maybe that's what I was. Maybe there was another. But I would consider that to be. That one's boat storage.
There's also RV storage.
I mean, that one's large storage, I
I
guess.
feel like we've had that one before, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm trying to.
I'm 99% sure we talked about that.
See it though.
Oh, I think that's where we were talking about like recreational vehicle sales and service.
I don't see another one though, that's actual storage. Unless it was like storage yard versus. Residential mini storage, what is the definition of that?
What about the railroad? Could that be good storage where they're. They kind of get their stuff.
I don't know what to consider that. To be honest.
I guess they're probably not in zones, are they? Because it's the.
Yeah, actually, I don't think they are. I don't think,
Railroad
like,
property, I'm sure they got their own right of way.
yeah, I think it's all within their right of way generally. Warehouse residential storage. Okay, an enclosed storage facility containing independent, fully enclosed bays that are leased to individuals exclusively for long-term storage of household goods and personal property. So I would consider that to be what's across from Dollar General.
See, I would think that's what it'd be across by the laundromat.
I think it's both of them.
I'll say I don't, because you're not gonna get a boat in like the laundromat one. Because I think you're gonna need a bigger space.
But I think you can classify them both as warehouse residential storage.
See, I still say that other one is different with vehicle or equipment storage. I feel like a boat would fall under equipment. Cause like if you get a pontoon boat, it's not gonna fit under there.
I think
That could be more than outdoor storage probably.
Yeah.
that's true.
There's
This
a fence
isn't
around it.
closed.
Yeah, and so that, well, that's why I was going back to that last one, the vehicle equipment storage, where we kind of said that like it couldn't go in like a C area. So that's why I was just kind of jumping back to that. Like,
Yeah, I think the difference is outdoor storage versus indoor storage. I have residential mini storage as C3, I1, I2. But I think that the one down, I think it's C3, the one from Dollar General, in front of Dollar General, is C3 today.
what about the one else that's owned by the laundry out there?
On Spring Street?
Sure.
Oh, you're talking about the one off of Mason?
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
That's actually I1.
Oh, is it?
So we've got one in C3, one in C3, and one in I1 today.
Well, the lot across from Dollar General, I know that they've stored, you know, backhoes and that type of thing.
There's tractor sets in the one point, tractor trailer, yeah, truck, so
You know,
there's
so
everything in there.
Probably a little bit of
it'd be hard to police.
I think C3 can have. We have C3 permitted for storage, vehicle equipment storage and residential storage.
Okay.
That's the question. Can it go, can either go in R3? No. I mean, C3, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'm so
I
sorry.
was gonna say, I don't have.
C3,
Yeah.
like, why are we talking about residential?
I was like, I don't think anybody wants that. I'm fine with it being permitted in C3.
Both of them,
At
vehicle
least
storage
conditional.
and mini storage.
I think they need to be conditional in our commercial area. But don't we already have one in our commercial area?
Yeah.
So then, again, I feel it falls back to either we're going to have all of them, or if we change it, would it change what they're already in now? So if
Well-
that business did close, they couldn't put another.
Well, let's look at it this way. The two that are in C3 today, are they creating any adverse effects in C3 today? So there's one on Spring Street and one across from Dollar General.
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily today, but if downtown increases traffic and you're trying to back a truck into that, then it could, but I don't know.
Okay. Another thing for you. Just to review, because I know you've already got this down. The vehicle equipment storage yard. How does that compare to the vehicle equipment sales?
One's, to me, one would be sales, like look at
Oh, I
IAA.
know, but how do you have it on your
Oh.
sheet? On the official sheet?
I have currently storage yard C3, I1, I2.
Okay, so those are, we
And-
do have,
And sales, I have conditional C1, permitted C2, permitted C3, permitted I1.
okay, so if we did the conditional on the sales, we ought to do conditional on the storage too.
Okay. For,
Why? One's auto storage and the other one is household storage, right?
No, I think he's talking about sales and storage. So storage yard, not
So we're back at,
warehouse. Yeah, so we're back up to vehicle equipment storage matching vehicle equipment sales. Cause I think what you said, right?
I would think, I would think
So-
if you were selling it, you'd want to have your product there too.
yeah, but I do think they're different. A storage yard is like, I pictured it to, let me just read the definition. An outdoor area used or intended to be used for long-term storage of vehicles and equipment other than a commercial parking lot or accessory parking to a principal use.
You don't mean the junkyard, do you? I guess, long term stuff, I don't,
I wouldn't think that would be
I
it.
guess it would be, I guess.
Well, we have salvage yard in a different category.
When I think of like what you're talking about, I think of like what Ford does with all those white trucks up there off 435 or 35, you know what I'm saying? It's like to me, when I think that, I just think of like,
They're just,
the vehicle manufacturers that need to store the vehicles they make that aren't ready to sell yet or whatever. Is what I think about, so.
well, and maybe there's a question mark on what it is and which would create the need for it to be more conditional, because it could be that, or it could be,
We've got out the Beverage Brothers.
yeah, the IAA. I think we consider the IAA to be a salvage yard.
Yeah, I'm almost leaning back that like, maybe this is becoming too confusing. And I almost feel like storage yard and warehouse residential storage should just go conditional. You know, on it all. And then that way, we have a little bit more say of where a storage facility can go in, just because like, do we want a storage facility down at? You know, or do you want a massive farm storage?
I do think that mini storage is probably a little bit more common of a permit or project. Something that's easy to build. There's a strong need for it, so I would be leery of restricting its ability to come to Odessa. I think it should be I think we have to allow it to be permitted in certain areas, but we have kind of the say so in where those areas are. But I think if we make it conditional, this again goes to that like, back to the like limiting growth. Like if we make it too restricted, then they're like, whatever, I'll just build my big city. But we'll still pay, but there's any storage in big city. Storage. So I have mini storage permitted in C3, I1, and I2. And PUD. I don't think it should go below a C2, or I don't think it should go C2 or below. Right. And for the vehicle equipment storage yard, there I feel like there is a more of a reason to go commercial, because it could encompass things that we don't know exactly what their business is. We need to know that information before permitting.
So it's conditional in C3.
Yep, do we want to allow it in I1 and I2 and just conditional in C3?
That's only if they're building it,
No, not necessarily.
so if I wanted to park 100 cars out the mall. Or post
The mall is
office,
The mall is that's a good example though. The mall is C2 currently. It's vacant. If we said this was permitted in C2, we could end up having Ford purchase the mall and leave their cars there all the time. So I think C3 is a good fit.
And then the flip side of that, someone could buy some of the I1 along the railroad track and then also park. So, I mean,
yeah, you do, yeah.
yeah,
Section of the outlaw. Down.
C2. I think storage yard should be conditional for C3, I1, and I2. Because we don't know the range. It could also be 4 cars for 30 days at a time, or 400 cars for 100 days at a time.
Probably need to have a better definition.
I almost feel like this needs to be divided up a little bit more, because I feel like this is becoming a little bit too like we're having way too many ideas of what this could be. Cause like along in like the railroad track, I'd be fine if someone parks some backhoes or, you know, a couple like heavy equipment things, but like. I don't know, it'd be a little weird driving downtown and be like, oh, there's 50 F-150s, it's kind of chilling. You know, so like, I feel like we need to have like this divided out into like vehicle storage and heavy equipment storage. And then if we divided that up, I think that would be a much easier definition of, we're okay with someone buying the mall and parking and putting up barbed wire fence and parking 100 F-150s. As opposed to me driving downtown and seeing like 20 like backhoes stored or like right now.
I think they're the same, it's a quantity that's a concern.
Well, for me, the reason why I'm saying this is because like right now, when we're thinking about what's going on with I-70 and all the construction. When I think of that storage, I would be okay with heavy equipment being parked there for a temporary time. As opposed to. Like just vehicles or something being parked for an unknown amount of time. Cause I mean, those heavy equipment, you know, vehicles are gonna be used more frequently. That's why I kinda have that.
Well, we can look into different ways to slice and dice it. Okay, 7:39.
Was that much?
That motion to adjourn.
I surrender.
That's second, that's right. All in favor?
I.
Yeah, that's good. That was all.
Wow.